over. Roger, understand. Go for landing. Eagle looking great. Houston, the Eagle has landed.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and you are watching Desk Jockey Fitness. I'm your host, Graham Nolan, and the reason I'm laughing is because I just did this show and realized I didn't hit the record button. And so here we are again. Oh, Lord, it must be a Monday. And what a great way to start what many may consider a controversial subject, and that is, are plants trying to kill you? Do we need to eat plants? What are the advantages of doing it? So that's what we're going to talk about today. My particular thoughts on this are, we've been told since we were children by our parents and our grandparents that you got to eat your broccoli, you got to eat your vegetables, you've got to eat this, that, and the other thing. And I wonder just how, and many others are more educated than me, are wondering, is that really good advice? And the reason being, we have to look at plants as let's say a primary food source. How much do we have to eat as a human being to provide us with the nutrients, or more so the calorie content, to be able to do the things that we need to do? In today's kind of sedentary civilization, okay, you can get by with it. You could have an all plant-based diet because your needs of energy are not the same as our ancestors were. You're not chasing animals. You're not running from animals. But plants are like every other living thing, don't want to be eaten. And that's why they have certain defense mechanisms, toxins, bitterness, to kind of dissuade animals from eating them. Now, if they have seeds or nuts on them, then the animals do want the animals to eat that, because that's, again, what one of their primary functions is, to propagate and to protect themselves. And so they want you to eat those nuts, or the animals, including us, and then, crap them out elsewhere and continue to grow the plant. But plants don't have a lot of energy, so you have to eat a ton of all vegetables to be able to do anything. And you're going to be so full and so bloated with all that fiber in you, which, by the way, is not digestible. So you're getting very little bang for your buck. And the reality is, we do not have the intestinal tract or ruminant stomach to process plants to draw all the nutrients that are in there. They, vitamin A is going crazy in spinach, and kale is a superfood. It may be for certain other animals, but humans, we really can't get the energy or the nutrients out of that the way they can. So it's really not a lot of bang for your buck. Whereas when you eat fat and meat, protein, basically, you don't have to eat nearly as much. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories in it. 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So there's a 2-to-1 ratio. So when you're eating a fatty piece of meat, you're getting so much more energy than you would if you ate, a salad this big, most of which you cannot digest. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up like everybody else, being told you got to eat your vegetables, and I liked my vegetables. I liked salads. I liked broccoli. I liked asparagus. I liked spinach. I love spinach. But when I look back at why did I love those things, the reality is because I put fat on them. Nobody takes. There's very few vegetables that I can think of. Maybe a carrot that you will just eat raw. You'll peel it because the skin is very bitter, and you'll eat it that way. But most other vegetables you have to cook and process. Broccoli, you're not just going to eat a hunk of broccoli, what do they call those things? A sprout of broccoli, whatever. It's very tough. It's hard. You're going to dip it into blue cheese or ranch dressing or some type of a fatty dip. Or you're going to cook it and break down the fibers, and you're going to add butter to it, or maybe melted cheese to it. So these vegetables, become fat delivery devices. Same thing with a salad. Nobody eats a dry salad. You're going to have your lettuce, your tomatoes. You might add nuts and cheese to it, but you're going to put dressing on it, and that's what's going to make it palatable. And that's where you're going to get the energy from, is that fat. It's certainly not from the lettuce and the other stuff that's in there, because it's mostly water and fiber. And you do not need all that fiber. So don't worry about that if you're eating, a carnivore style diet. Everything will work its way out naturally, the way they're supposed to, the way things are supposed to. So don't worry about that. But now fruits, on the other hand, fruits are sweet. They're brightly colored. And those are plants' way of saying, yes, eat this. Don't eat my tree. Don't eat my leaves, but eat this fruit. Because they want to attract animals to eat that stuff, so that, again, they ingest it. They ingest the seeds and or nuts, and then they take them elsewhere, crap them out. They replant, and they grow. So I suspect that our ancestors probably ate fruit when it was available and when it was in season, but that's a very short window. So most of the time they were eating, and getting all the bang for their buck by eating animal fat and animal protein. So I told you this was going to be somewhat controversial. But again, I'm not coming at you as somebody who says I've always hated vegetables, because I haven't. But I've found that the reason I like the stuff that I liked about them is because I added the stuff that I really needed and liked, which is basically the butter, cheese, fat, dressing, all that kind of stuff. So give it some research. Take a look at it. There's a lot of stuff out there that talks about this. Even if you just type in that headliner, "Plants trying to kill you," stuff will come up. And there'll be an argument on both sides. As I said in another show, that it's one thing if you're going to go vegan because of some moral conflict. Okay, that's your choice. That's fine. But you have to understand that vegetarianism and vegan is not natural. It's not a natural way of eating. And in fact, until maybe 100 years ago, it would have been completely unheard of. And the reason being because you have to have B12 to survive. And B12 is prevalent in proteins in animal meat. It is not in vegetables. So until man came up with a supplement for it, if people just ate vegetables, they would eventually die. They would get very sick and die. And the other thing is research is showing the bone structure of people that only eat plants. Their bones become less dense, and they're more prevalent to fractures without the fat and protein. So some of the things to take a look at and think about, how you've always eaten the vegetables, or maybe you haven't, and maybe that was your body's way of saying, telling you, yeah, this is not what I'm supposed to be eating. But that also means you got to get rid of all the other crap. You got to get rid of all the processed foods. You got to eat natural foods, whole foods, not stuff that comes in boxes that has more than one or two ingredients. So if you get rid of that, focus on whole foods, your health is really gonna turn around. So that's it, my friends. Have a great rest of the week. Get your workout in, get your mind right on your diet, and be committed to your goals. And we will see you Friday. You have a great one. Bye-bye.